All right, everyone. Hello, hello. Poor Ella is dealing with my desk. It looks clean, right? It looks clean. That's all anyone needs to know. So I'm Eilers-Heffner. I'm a Sapphire ambassador. This is my daughter, Ella. And I'm going to show you, I'm not going to show you the entire race of her 800 meters at regionals because it is very short, and when watching her, felt like 3 hours. But watching her just over 2.5 minute race was incredible. However, we don't necessarily need to sit here and watch a full 2 minutes, but I am going to show you this race that just blew us all out of the water, and we were so proud of Ella. And then she's going to share why and how she was able to go and get this. And then I'm going to tie everything together. And she's like, do I have to be on here the whole time? I'm like, no, you don't. So let me show you this really quickly. I'm screen sharing. Perfect. I have this all queued up. We'll move you guys back over here. Full screen. And then I have very gracious friends that recorded this for me. And so you may hear lots of cheering. So if you're sensitive to noise or you're rocking a baby, you might want to turn your volume just a little bit. All right. So I'm going to rewind. Okay, so we did not get the start line, but that's okay. So here's Ella leading this race. You guys see this? There's no one close to her at all. Keep going, don't slow up.
Qualifying on top champion, the boys 200 meter in 41.84 from Cheryl Stockwell Academy.
I already qualified for that. That's the old hat. He's coming, Ella. Keep going.
Oh my goodness, so awesome. I feel like I was there again. I tear up every time I watch this. My heart is racing again just from watching the video and fast forwarding it. So here's Ella. She's laughing while we watch this. So proud. Such a proud mom. So this race, Ella was seated 4th in our region. She was seated 4th.
I have the 4 stickers still.
She has a 4 sticker. Still saved it. And we kept telling her, the coaches were like, get out there. You have a kick. You can do this. So Ella, tell us. Now, I was on the other side of the track so that she could hear me. And if you all knew my yelling, cheering voice, you could actually pick it out in that video, but we don't need to worry about that. So
I thought I was going to slow down. She said, don't gas out or something.
My video was not a very gracious recording. I was so nervous.
Oh no, she's going to get tired.
So when you were preparing for this race, Ella, what were you thinking?
I did not feel good before the race. I was like kind of nauseous and I felt really tired. And I didn't feel like I was going to be able to run like that. But, I don't know. I always pray before I run. I always like say, God help me so I can actually get through this. And that's the only reason I was able to do that, honestly. But, when I was talking to the other girls, I don't know them, but the girls before we ran, when we were in line, because you have to wait in line a few minutes for the race before you to finish. I was talking to them and I'm like, I don't know. I didn't really talk to them. They were like, oh my gosh, why do we have to run an 800? Ugh, I don't want to do this. It's so far. They were like complaining. Like all they were doing was complaining. I was like, what's the point in complaining? You're just not going to do that well. And then they were like the girl that was like seated first and like the girls ahead of me that were seated ahead of me, they were complaining about it and they don't want to run it at all. Like they're like, oh, can we just get it over? I don't know. And then I was like, I didn't complain. And then I did that. I don't know.
Well, then you say to yourself, well, they don't want it. I'm going to
Well,
take it.
I realized that after I ran, I'm like, well, they didn't want it. I just took it. And when I started running that race, I didn't feel like I was actually gonna go out there and run like that. I decided that like right at the beginning when the thing went off, I'm like, okay, and now I'm gonna just go out and run hard. I didn't decide that before the race. I just decided when it happened.
Right then.
Right there to go.
What about other races? Did you wait till the gun go off to decide how you were going to run, or did you have more planning in your brain before other races?
I don't know. I wasn't super motivated for, I was motivated for the other races, but this one, regionals, was really important. So that was a bigger deal than the rest of the races. So I was like more strategic about that one.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you listened, like one of the coaches that ran up on the side of the track at the end there, Ella was pointing her out like, oh my gosh, there's Coach Jess, like cheering me on. And Jess would always say like, Ella, you can get out and you can hold it and you can do this. And I think when you decided for yourself, like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then you heard the other coach, the girl that was behind you, you heard that coach.
I don't think it was a coach. I think it was another girl on their team, but the last 100
curve.
meters, the last curve, you guys saw that. There was somebody from the side yelling at the girl behind me. She's getting tired. Now you can go up there and pass her. And she was not like, she was kind of close. She was like 10 meters behind me or something. She was not like, she was like kind of far. But, and then I was like, no. So then I started running. I tried to run a little harder then when she said that, but I was tired.
Did you see the clock at the end? Did you know?
No, I blacked out at the end.
She blacked out. So when did you know so this is the result of this race. First place regional winner. Only the top two go on to states. She beat the school record by 6 seconds and she PR'd by 8. So when did you know all of that?
Well, and going into that race, I had a goal to get the school record, which would be a PR. The school record was 2:38. What's the 2:30?
Something like that. 2:36?
No.
You
So
ran
I
a
got
2:37.
It was like
2:40 something.
2:43.
Sure.
I think it was 2:43, and then my PR was like 2:45. I don't know. I think it was 2:45.
I think previously.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That was a huge PR.
Huge. So when did you know you actually did those things?
After
Like
the race.
5 minutes?
Well, I knew I was in front, but when I was running, I was focusing on not dying and not like gassing out and slowing down and letting them pass me. But I mean, when you're running at 800, you got to get out there and pass the girls. And by the time like you're out there past them, they're already like, they like give up almost because they don't think that they can get you because I was so far ahead of them. But I knew I was in front. I knew that I was really hoping to get the school record then at that race. And I don't know, I guess I did.
It was awesome. Really cool. Anything else you want to tell us about your running career?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Thank you for getting on with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that it?
That's it. Unless anyone has any questions, you can type them in the chat real quick, but I don't know. I'm doubting no. So we'll just, if you have any dying questions, just message me later. All right. Thank you.
Yes. Can I go now?
You can go.
Okay.
So I wanted to share that with you because coming out of that race was she ran the race like we had been telling her she could do. And this is us, your upline, saying, you can do this. You can be successful. You can go out there and get this. You can do this. But until we decide for ourselves that we can be successful in our race, in our life, in our plexus business, in our parenting, in our marriage, then you're not probably going to be. And what I realize is this all kind of relates down to intention. And we've talked about this before. This is not a new concept at all, right? But just realizing even like this morning, I woke up and I just started praying right away, like Lord, help me with these specific things today. And I was praying for my friends' kids that went back to school today and just really setting that day off on a good start, right? But also when we step back and we really take what we're learning and training for and the goals that we've set and combine that with intention, it will make us unstoppable. Like Ella was unstoppable in that particular race. So we have to say that we have our training, we have our calls like this, we have our IPA sheets, we have calls with our upline for coaching. We can watch videos to learn how to recruit, how to duplicate, how to retain. We can look in the Go app now and find out, okay, what were those incentives this month? Like, we have all these tools at our fingertips. So here's Ella training all year for this race, all year for being successful, and training, all the practices, all the meets, right? It wasn't something that she just went to practice once a week or sort of listened to the coaches occasionally. She was putting in the work and putting in the training. And then we have setting the goal. So Ella's goal was that school record, and coming out of that school record would also mean sorry, I gotta let the dog out or he's gonna keep scratching. Go. Sorry, you guys. And then you see the real trick of being a jewel. You wear your pajamas while you're leading team call. So she wanted to set the school record, which would give her a PR. And it was absolutely incredible to me that she was seated fourth and got first. We just blew them all out of the way. So we set our goals. We set our goal for the month. We set our goal with Plexus for long term, and that's what we keep in the forefront of our mind. That's what we're working towards every day of the month when we do our IPA. And then we work on our mindset, and we have to learn to be mentally tough. So Ella, I wished that she's starting her second year of running cross country, and then she'll run track. And I'm like, Ella, you can do this. You can do this, because I knew she could, because I've developed mental toughness, but I can't take my mental toughness and just implant it into her. She has to go through these races and the training and setting the goals in order to develop her own mental toughness. And that's true when we're parenting our kids or helping our downlines with anything. We have to work through those things so that we can develop that mental toughness and tenacity. And we have so many things where we work on mindset, positive affirmations, all of that. The stinking door did not stay open. Take two. Let's try another avenue over here. And then we don't need to set an intention to go conquer the world all in one day. We don't set an intention and go, okay, I'm going to do double the IPA today. I'm going to clean out all the kids' closets. I'm going to do the grocery shopping. I'm going to clean the whole house from top to bottom and get all the laundry done. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, we don't set intentions to go and complete this massive list of things to do. That is setting yourself up for failure. So I like to scale it back and say, what is my Plexus intention today? What is my family intention today? What is my house intention today? And when I was working outside of the home, what is my work intention today? And you guys all have those days, like, okay, if you have worked outside the home, you have that experience. Okay, today after work, I have this event. And so I need to get out on time. I need to make sure I'm out extra productive today. I asked my boss to let me out for 20 minutes early, so I better hustle and make sure that my work is done for the day, right? We've all had those days, and we all know we're way more productive on those days than a normal given work day. We just are. And when we challenge ourselves to act like that on a daily basis, like, look how much cleaning you get done when you know you're going out of town. Look how much cleaning all these jewels are going to get done, and packing and all the things we're going to get done before we go to Mexico. That timer is already clicking in my brain. I'm like, that is coming up. I got a lot to do before then. And so I'm working hard. I'm setting those intention more strongly and more firmly. And it's really comes down to living our life on purpose and not on accident. Again, we've talked about this before. Stop letting your days control you. Stop letting what's coming at you and being reactive to everything. Stop it. Just stop. I have done so many calls on what to do with your kids, how to make a chore chart, what to do. Brittany Howard covered it on her podcast about how she spent a summer getting her kids' chores all in order. Whatever. You don't even have to do that. I did it in like 15 minutes. I made a chore chart for my kids, right? Like, it just depends on our brains. But you need to also make sure your intentions are positive. Not, I'm not going to eat chocolate today, or I'm not going to scroll Facebook today. No, those are not positive intentions. That's setting your mindset again into a negative standpoint instead of coming at it as, I'm going to fuel my body super healthfully today. I am going to sit down at 1 p.m. and get my IPA done. in these hours. These are my office hours. This is when I'm doing it. And also, if you don't believe your intentions, then they're not going to happen. We told Ella over and over, you can do this. You can run this race. You can get the school record. You can be faster. You can maintain that pace. We told her and told her and told her, but it wasn't until she believed it that she went and did it, right? So simply put, an intention is an aim or a purpose, something that you plan to do or achieve, and paying more attention to your intentions. This is going to do incredible things in your life. This quote came from Melissa Max, M-A-X-X, who's a mindset coach. And then don't let your day determine your mood or take control, but rather take control and determine how you want your day to be. So again, this is just another quote from an article I read, and I'm going to post that in the comments of this post announcement for the call. And then intentions in regard to our business. So really, I wanted to be business focused, but I wanted to show a real life example in a 15-year-old. And if she can grasp this concept of success and pushing yourself and having that mindset and taking the training and putting it to work, then we all can do better. Like we can apply this to our lives and our business, and we can do better and push on. How inspiring. So in regards to our business, I want to challenge you. Are you doing your IPA to be able to check the boxes and say, I did my IPA I did my IPA today, and you jump over to the IPA chat, done, IPA is done? Or are you setting the intention that you are out to change someone's life when you sit down to do your IPA? Sally talks about this all of the time, about how she feels so strongly about this business and these products and how they've helped her, that she feels so, like, lack of a better word, don't let me put words in Sally's mouth, but the obligation to help people. And she's very successful because she doesn't just approach IPA like, I'm going to check the box and say I got it done. She's out here going, who can I help today? So the other thing that you can do, like, yes, we have IPA sheets for guidelines. Please use them. Absolutely. Whatever your team is doing, whatever your upline is coaching you to do that. But my challenge to you is to sit down and have 10 super meaningful conversations with 10 different people, like cold market. You know, Leah talked about this a couple months ago about getting into your cold market, getting into those Facebook groups of common interests and really talking to people and making those connections, not just a random like, hey, how's it going? Like, no, nobody wants that message anymore. No one wants that. They want to know that you care about them, and they want to know what you have to offer so that they know if they can say yes or no. They don't want to be shushed around. They don't want it. They don't want the fluff. They want to be treated with kindness and respect, but they don't want to be strung along. So be upfront with what it is that you have to offer them, obviously from a very relational way. Challenge yourself to get 3 people to tell you no about the business when you're doing your IPA. Say, I'm not going to stop messaging people until 3 people tell me no. And that sounds funny, right? This go for no concept. There's a book. I have it up there somewhere. I meant to grab it, but it's really skinny. It's a fable. It reads really like a little storybook, really good to read. You can read it in a day or two, like super fast. And the whole premise is that when we are, like, say I'm in a retail shop selling fancy dresses and shoes and whatever, and a client comes in and they're like, I need this. I'm like, here you go. And then they leave. And then my boss is like, well, you didn't get a no from her. What do you mean I didn't get a no? You never asked enough and presented enough for that customer to go, nope, I'm good with all of this that I have. And that was a really, really great concept that stood out to me from that book, is that when people are looking for something, you keep offering and offering until they say, no, thanks, I'm good. I got all of this. I'm happy with this. I came in for these things. I got these extra things. I'm good. You're going for the no. And with our IPA, when we approach it in a way to say, I'm not going to stop until I have 3 people tell me no about this business, you're going to have a different approach and intention about your business that day. Maybe you need to set intentions to stop scrolling and to hope that maybe somebody will stand out to you, that maybe then you should send them a message. No, stop the scrolling, make your list, keep track of who your new friends are, use that list to go through and start those conversations. And intentionally asking about the business is going to be much more successful when you're posting about the business. So I've been telling my team this for a while now. They're going to be so sick of me saying this, but that's okay. And that is that we have to let people know what is out there. And my challenge to you, if you're not posting about the business, then when you sign them up for the products, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, by the way, there's this business thing out here too associated with this, you haven't really allowed them to see that beforehand, and they may kind of be taken off guard a little bit. Again, it's kind of this go for no concept where you want people to say, no, I'm really good. I don't need an extra 300 or 400 or 600 or 1,000 or more dollars a month. You want them to say that to you because you really don't know who's suffering, and they likely are not going to come to you and say, hey, I see you posting about your pink drink, so I need to build a business like that. They aren't necessarily going to connect those dots. And so being super intentional about posting about the business, what you plan to do with this opportunity. So the financial blessings, what you plan to do in the future, if maybe you're just getting started. I can't wait to have a Christmas this year that my kids are never going to forget. I can't wait to pay for private school for my kids because of this income that Plexus is providing. I can't wait for this. Or Plexus is providing my cell phone bill, my cable bill, and my grocery bill this month. What a blessing. It can be even these meaningful things that don't maybe seem like a big deal, but they are to a lot of people that are struggling to meet those bills. And then you can also be sharing our super successful diamonds and jewels stories about their success and help people to get dreaming again. So I have 7 more minutes. I have one more thing that I want to shift over and mention really quickly. It's not so much about intention, but it is something that has just really, really been on my heart, and I've been practicing it myself. And so I know it works. Okay. So a couple months ago, month and a half ago, I had 3 different friends tell me about their journey with like their health changes, just stuff that they were doing. One hired a trainer, and she and her husband were doing these specific workouts and eating this specific way and blah, blah, blah. Another one, she told me, I quit going out to eat at lunchtime and started walking in the evenings while the kids played. Like she literally walks circles around their cul-de-sac while the kids play because she can't just leave and go out, further in the neighborhood than that. And God bless her, right? Like this girl was intending to get healthier and put her mind to it because she was walking in a circle, and she quit eating out at lunch and just started eating the way that she used to. And she's like, I feel so much better. I've lost this weight. And then a third friend said, just get an app, record your macros, record what you're eating, don't stress out about it. Okay. Just see where you're at. Cause again, you can't really change anything if you don't know where you're at. And just those 3 very separate incidences, but they all happened with me in about a week and a half. And I'm like, all right, if these girls can do this, I can do this too. And so I changed a couple of things I posted, talked about in my stories, all this stuff. And I am like, okay, I'm still noticing changes in my body and I'm feeling better. And of course I take my products and all of this stuff. Right. And no one was like, yeah, you should do this with me. But just them saying that they were doing these things inspired me to go, okay, they can do it too. And this is why we also need to be posting and encouraging people to post. Our new joins, we need to encourage them to post, because if their friends see that, they're going to go, oh, well, maybe I can do that too. Maybe I can take those products too. Maybe I can do that business too, because they're seeing it. And so really not holding this under a bushel, like not holding our light under a bushel, but really truly letting it shine and encouraging your new joins to do the same and your business builders to do the same is going to make a big difference. And then the other example of this, I just not feeling alone in it, was there's this Instagram account. I can't even tell you the name of the account, I only allow myself 3 scrolls on Instagram when I open it to like get to work. I get 3 scrolls and I have to stop. That's my limit. And this lady's like, I'm decluttering my house until quits giving me anxiety. And I'm like, and then she shows like dumping out this closet of stuff. And I'm like, well, thank the Lord I don't have messes like that. Like, I'm like, yes, I'm a step ahead. But I have other areas of my life, other areas of my house that need to be decluttered. And so I'm like, all right, I'm doing this one cabinet today, one cabinet, one, not like even 3, not the whole kitchen, literally one cabinet. And this stranger, this person I don't even know who's decluttering her house until it quits giving her anxiety. I'm like, okay, if she can do it with all that crap, like all this extra stuff and extra purses and stuff, if she can do it, then I can do this too. And it's very inspiring. So we cannot keep these thoughts and what we're doing under wraps. Encourage your people to post, encourage them to do a party, encourage them to do some sort of sip and see or Zoom. Let them get the word out, because you just don't know who you're going to touch and who you're going to inspire, or who they are going to inspire. Okay. So I know that was a completely separate topic than being intentional, but I felt like it was on my heart and it needed to be shared. So all right, you guys, thanks so much for getting on. I still have 3 minutes, but I won't use them. And you guys have a great night.